I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent Training. Welcome to our Word of the Day series. Today we're taking a little different look at a number of words, but specifically at the letter C and some of the sounds that it can make. So these words that we're talking about today have been requested by our viewers. If you'd like to have help with a specific word, you can leave a comment on this video or any of my videos, and I'll cover your word in a future Word of the Day. Today, though, I wanted to talk about a variety of words that have the letter C in them and talk about what letter C, what sounds it can represent in English. So as you know, spelling in English can be complex. One letter can say many different sounds, and sounds can be represented in more than one way in different words. So you can learn a lot more about this in our Sounds of American English course. That's on speechmodification.com. We go through every sound, and then we also talk about how those sounds are spelled, what common words they're in, what accent error patterns you might have, and how to correct them. So looking at the letter C, this is called a borrower letter sometimes because it doesn't have one sound that we consistently associate with it. If you're going through the alphabet and you think about C, you think of maybe C as in cat, and that's the K sound that we also spell with letter K. But C often also says the S sound, like in C, C-E-E, and we'll look at examples of words where C says S and where that happens. It can also say the sh sound, like SH, that's the symbol for that sound, and it also is part of, in the letters CH, the ch sound. So let's get started looking at some specific words to help you with letter C. The first word that was requested was the word electric, and I chose to talk about this one first in this lesson because letter C most commonly says either the K sound, K, or the S sound, S. So in electric, it's a very straightforward pronunciation for those letter C's. They both say the K sound. These are the IPA symbols, which you'll see in the dictionary when you're looking up a word. You may find different dictionaries use different symbols. They'll have a pronunciation guide somewhere in that dictionary so you can see which symbols they use for which sounds. I like the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, because it's the same regardless of what language you're talking about. So you can look up a word, understand the English sounds, and know how that relates to the sounds in your native language. For the person who requested electric, let's talk about the word a little bit more beyond just the C sounds. So electric has second syllable stress. We see that marked here before the stress syllable. There's a little line. And the second E has the eh sound, like in red tent. The first E in electric actually says the vowel schwa, the sound, because it's unstressed. So it's very short, and it sounds like electric. And the length in that word is on the lek syllable. And then lastly, the I says the I sound. It's also a lak sound, and then that syllable is also short. If you have trouble with the R sound in electric, you might want to start from the R. Start with rick, rick, trick, lectric, electric. If you have trouble with the syllable stress, start with the stressed syllable and just add your little unstressed syllable secondarily. So for example, you would say lectric, electric. Just very light and short on that sound. For today's lesson, we won't practice these words in phrases, but as you're trying to work on a specific word, do practice the word by itself and then in some short phrases so it comes more naturally and easily to you. We're going to focus more on the sounds and spelling in today's lesson. And next I want to look at the word precious. So precious is a little bit challenging to spell if you're thinking about the sounds, because the letter C in precious says the SH sound, the sh sound. And so that's a somewhat less common pronunciation, although C does stand in for the SH sound quite a bit. The precious has first syllable stress. So in the dictionary, again, we'll see the line before the stress syllable. It also has the red tent vowel, like electric had in its stress syllable. And then we'll see for the C, we have this symbol for SH. It looks like a tall, skinny S. And then we just, the IOUS just sounds like vowel schwa, an sound, letter S says S. So precious. Again, if you struggle with the R in this sound, in this word, you may want to start with it. Pre, build up from the R to the R blend. And also practicing it one syllable at a time. Precious, precious. And bringing that together may be helpful for you. I am guessing that the person who requested this word, precious, was probably struggling maybe with the sounds, with having the S and the SH and the S sounds together, but also the way it's spelled with that letter C makes precious a little bit tricky. Okay, so somewhat less common for C to say SH. Then our next words will be complacent and complacency. So in complacent, we have two letter C's. First one follows the rule, or is the more standard pronunciation. It has the K sound, like letter K. Complacent has second syllable stress. So letter O is going to say the schwa sound, sounds like We'll see our A diphthong for letter A because that's in the stressed syllable. So letter A is saying the clear vowel A because complacent is stressed. Then the second letter C says our S sound. So that's probably the second most common pronunciation for letter C. First most common is probably the K. It's very typically either K or either K or S for letter C. And then complacent, we have either a tiny little vowel I or vowel schwa, or we go almost right from that S sound S right into the N sound, complacent. As you're hearing this pronounced, it's going to sound like complacent or cent. Thinking about this last syllable as being very short and unstressed. So it has kind of a syllabic N. You'll also hear complacent. Often we don't say that T as an aspirated T. We just stop it and we don't release it, complacent. You can learn more about stopped T, syllabic N, vowel schwa, all of these different sounds in our videos for individual sounds, as well as in our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. It's a great way to understand sounds and spelling and pronunciation and to get a wonderful insight into pronouncing every word in English as well as your specific words. So complacent was one request, and then the person who requested that also wanted to know about complacency. So let's just change complacent, and we'll change to complacency. Complacency still has second syllable stress. The first two syllables of the word are the same. Oops, excuse me. Complacency. So there we have no T, no stop T, and we go into sin, C. So this letter C also says the S sound. And we just add in complacency. So we have a tense E in the last syllable. And again, here in the sin, we may or may not see a vowel there. We might go right from the S to the N. So it either sounds like complacency, maybe with a schwa, complacency with a little lax I sound. I often talk about how in these unstressed syllables, the exact vowel is not always as important as making sure that it's lax and short. So I'm going to just be touching on that vowel and moving on. Complacency. Great. Again, practice complacent and complacency in some sentences once you get the word by itself. Otherwise, it may not generalize easily into your fluent speech. All right, a couple more words with letter C. We also had a request for the word enhanced. And we're including this in the letter C lesson because, again, here the C says S, another common pronunciation. And you'll see that when it's an NCE or a CE towards the end of the word, that's typically when it is an S sound versus Electric or complacent, those C's at the start of the word, those are more often the K or K sound. Enhanced has second syllable stress, and the stressed syllable has vowel a, ha. And then another useful thing to know about a word like enhanced is that the letters ed often say the T sound. So if I enhance and then enhanced as the adjective or past tense, because the C says the S sound and our voice is not on, instead of enhanced, we're just going to have a T, enhanced. Same thing happens for a word like past, with SSED, or washed with SHED. These EDs in the past tense just say the T sound. More often, the ED says the D sound in words like moved or lived or played. You can get help for past tense pronunciation in our American Accent Training 6-week course, and also in our videos for past tense that explain all of the rules for the ED sounds. So enhanced has, with second syllable stress, this first syllable sounds, the letter E is going to sound like an I sound, which is, again, our lax, unstressed vowel, enhanced. And then one more word I want to talk about with the letter C that was requested is the word branch. And in this case, the letters CH together make one sound, which is the ch sound. Although the ch sound has a symbol that's two pieces. So it's a symbol of the T and the SH sound. Together, that sounds like ch. It's called an affricate. Means my tongue starts in the T position, then it drops down to the SH position, but the sound doesn't continue. So when you have the SH sound, the sh sound like we had in precious, that air continues. The CH sound, like in branch, pushes out that sound, ch, and then it stops. So SH and CH can be challenging for some people for pronunciation. They may interchange the two, especially native Spanish speakers. You can get help for that in our Sounds of English course. Which words have the ch, CH sound, which words have the sh, continuing SH sound. I see I misspelled branch. I left out our letter N. So in branch with letter N, we have, it's just one syllable, so it's just first syllable stress. We have letter A says the A sound, and then ending in that ch sound. So, you may look up a word like this in the dictionary, and you see this combination of syllables, and that doesn't necessarily mean a lot to you. So often in our Word of the Day classes and our Friday question and answer classes, I will go through and rewrite the word in a way that might make more sense to your brain for spelling by using the more common spelling for sounds. Now, in a word like branch, this is pretty much typically the way we would write it. The A typically says a in a stressed syllable. CH typically says ch. And so all of the sounds are represented here. So this person was probably requesting help for branch because it's difficult to pronounce. What I'll suggest here is breaking it down and figuring out which part of the word is hard for you. Maybe for you, it's hard to make that ch sound short. You can see, maybe you can make words like change or chair with the CH at the beginning, and it's harder to do it at the end. Or perhaps the R makes it difficult, in which case start with the R, ranch, branch. Breaking down and figuring out which sounds are challenging for you, working on other words that have those sounds tends to help you in the words where it's more difficult for you to pronounce that particular word. Okay, so that was a very quick run through of various sounds that the letter C can represent. If you want to know more about any of these particular sounds, other ways they're spelled, how to pronounce them, accent error patterns to watch out for, I highly recommend my Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. The great thing about that course is not only is it a comprehensive look at sounds and pronunciation in English, but it's very inexpensive. So it's under $2. just to make it accessible to more people. I want you to have that as a resource to help you. Thank you so much, everyone who requested the various words we covered in today's lesson. Because it's Friday, I'll be back at 12 o'clock Seattle time, 3 o'clock Eastern time with our live question and answer class on YouTube. That's a class where you can attend, put your questions in the chat, and ask me about pronunciation, sounds and spelling, American accent, intonation, anything that will help you improve your overall communication in American English. Thank you so much for those of you who've subscribed to the channel, and especially to those who've joined as channel members. I really appreciate your support. Keep those requests and comments and questions coming. That helps me know what topics to cover in future classes. And check out the Sounds of English course and our other online courses on speechmodification.com. We do have a number of free courses there as well, so it's just a great resource for you to go a little further in understanding pronunciation, sounds, spelling, and American accent. Thanks, everyone. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. I hope to see you in our live class later today.